You've probably watched Formula 1 before, you may have even watched Formula E, but you've never seen anything quite like this. This is the Robocar, a fully driverless electric race car built by a team called Roborace. We're here in Barcelona looking at the Robocar. This is the first production model built by Roborace. Now, we know they've been working on this for quite some time. Back in November 2015, they announced their plans for this fully driverless electric motorsport. We've seen renders of it, but we haven't seen the actual car itself. We know they've been working on prototype development cars called DevBots. They are somewhat similar, except they can have an engineer inside to check on the systems and make sure that everything's working as it should do. But this is it. This is the car that they hope in the future will be used to compete in sports which look like Formula 1, but where really it's all about the smarts inside, who has the best AI in order to win a true competition.
I was as skeptical, I think, as everybody else. Like, wait, a driverless racing series, and like, what, you know? But I think this is perfect because now I'm excited about it, and I think that helped to make the car as cool as we could do it. I mean, this is a freaking beast. 320 plus kilometers an hour, 4 motors. It's nuts, and I didn't understand that in the beginning. I thought, yeah, with electric and autonomous, you still associate the cute, cool, silent stuff. No, this is a killer machine, right? And seeing 10 of those on the track one day, gonna be awesome.
Any car is already like given. You have a cockpit, you have 4 wheels, and so the architecture is like done. Here, when we talked to Daniel, we said like you have a freedom to do anything you want, and it should be something which is not even car. So it's a robot on the wheels.
We didn't have any rules, right? So we could use the underfloor a lot, which you don't allow in many motorsports anymore. And I think our aerodynamic engineer never had a project where a guy like me and some of our engineers came in and said, keep it as it looks, just improve the downforce by factor 2.
When we're talking about race, we normally think about overtaking or being like a leader. But what is important, to be a leader, you need to also avoid collisions. So we really believe that this environment will help companies to develop collision avoidance algorithms in extreme conditions. So it means that if the car here can avoid behavior of other car in extreme condition, of course, these learnings and this knowledge we can use for road cars. So it means that they will be much more smarter on the roads.
You need every engineer to understand that this should look cool, because usually you do your concept and you hand it off and engineering makes the most out of it. And you end up maybe with something that's not really cool. I always want to go smaller and narrower. They want to get more space. We have a great CEO who always goes like, no, has to look cool. So we work together very well on that. Hacking the sensors was the scariest part of this whole thing. You just take the nose, you know? A designer comes in and say, let's make it like this. This looks cool. And then packaging comes in, we need a radar right here. And you look at it and it looks ridiculous. And then you start discussing how can we put that radar in here. So you move other things out of the way, and then you have the simple idea of making the nose of a material that the radar can protrude. So it adds a bit of complication in manufacturing, but we will figure this out. So right now the radar is super hidden in this tiny nose together with 2 motors, which is totally nuts to me. There's a funny detail in this car, which is, we call it the TV tower, which is the detail in the back that pokes out. This is only for us humans to see what the car is doing. There are only TV cameras in there. We wouldn't even need this for all our AI controls. But I actually loved it because it added some reference height to the car. Otherwise it would be so low. I mean, I could never have thought that a car could be too low.
Our plan was to put it on the track before Barcelona. But some of our partners who were developing like body elements in Italy, they had an earthquake, so they delayed some of the parts for a few weeks. So that was the reason why we didn't put it on track before the Barcelona. So we're going to do this just after.
Really seeing this drive, going to probably be the next level. I'm not ready for this yet. This is going to drive in 2 weeks. I've never seen it move. We only pushed it so far. I'm waiting probably for the first wheel, you know, spin, first burnouts. That's probably, I think when we see a burnout and it smells, then I get it too. That's going to be cool.
It's not the robots, it's the humans who are using those tools to show the level of their intelligence. And I personally believe that it's going to be super interesting to watch.
So clearly the company has a long way to go. They're not saying when this car will be ready for the track and when it will start racing. For the rest of this year, they're going to continue to show their dev bots at Formula E races as a sort of demonstration, a proof of concept. They'll keep working on this, and the hope is, maybe a year or two down the line, eventually we'll see our very first Roborace.